What's up, y'all? Today's guest is musician Malia Delacruz, aka Ciao Malz. Ciao Malz is Malia's project with which she released the Safe Then Sorry EP a few months ago, and since it has been some months, those following months were the time when she was doing a lot of promo, doing a lot of PR, doing a lot of interviews and stuff like that. I thought it would be fun to get her on to talk a bit about navigating the world of promo, PR, all of that as a musician after you have released your project. As always, if you want to support us, go to tapeclub.substack.com and you can sign up to support us there. You'll get a newsletter, you'll get this podcast. If you want to sign up for the paid one, you'll get a cassette, but even a free subscription means the world to us. If you have any questions, you can email us at hi@tapeclub.biz. So that's it. Go ahead and enjoy this episode with Malia Delacruz. All right, we have Malia here from Ciao Malz. Malia, welcome to the show. Thank you for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
I love the microphone setup you got there. Tell me a little bit about what's going on there.
Well, I don't usually do this, but this podcast is special, so I brought out the big microphone. I had a recording teacher friend, and he was like, you got to spin it this way, and you got to talk like this over it, and you got to have it at this weird angle. And it never stays at that angle because I'm constantly touching it and moving it, but that's what's going on with this.
I mean, it sounds great, and I'm glad that you got it working. For the people who are listening and watching behind the scenes, it took us like an hour to figure out how to get that thing to work. We were like almost set on the MacBook Pro microphone, but no,
I couldn't do that.
Malia, so thank you for coming on the show again. You know, it's a weird time to have you on because it is the middle of July and your EP came out last December, so we are kind of in like we might be the very last press outlet to talk about Safe Then Sorry, but we'll get to that in a little bit. The way I like to start every show, I like to ask the guest what has been stuck in your head lately. Is there anything that comes to mind for you about what's been stuck in your head lately?
What's been stuck in my head lately? This week, the song Hole of the Moon by the Waterboys has been stuck in my head.
Yeah, what made you, how did it get stuck? What happened? Did you just wake up with it?
It just like came onto my phone one day and it just has not left. It plays every day, no matter what, if it's on shuffle, if it's not on shuffle, if it's not on that playlist, it's always playing and it's constantly stuck in my head. And it's kind of like a conversational song, so it's like not the whole song, but parts will get stuck in my head and it's so different every part. So that's what's been in my head lately.
Yeah, for me, I've had Bob Seger because I was in the car and it was the song that was on was, I don't know if you know the song Turn the Page, but like it's this like, I guess the reason it's stuck in my head is because I heard it in the car, and it's this like, it's from the perspective of a grizzled like road dog who's been like out playing shows, and he's just like, man, another show, another night, turn the page on to the next day. And I was like, damn, Bob Seger, I wonder how old he was when he wrote this. And I went and looked at it, and he was like 26. And I was like, what? Bro, like, it's just crazy to me to think that Bob Seger was ever 26, I guess, you know? Like, to me, all those old guys, yeah, they always feel old and the music feels old. And you're like, wait, you wrote your shit when you were like 25. That's right. Like, just like everyone else did, you know?
And then it was like Against the Wind.
Yeah, Against the Wind, Night Moves. He had a bunch of stuff. And I don't know when he wrote any of it, but it's just so interesting to me to be like, man, this guy from the ages of like maybe, I don't know, 24 to 34 wrote all his hits and then has spent the rest of his career playing those songs over and over again, you know?
And they're all about hating being out.
Yeah, it's he was ahead of his time, you know what I mean? I hate being out as well, you know? So it makes sense. Malia, last time you came on a show, it was my other show, The Word Cloud, which I do on Brain Rot Radio, shameless plug. And that was back in January, and we talked about Safe Then Sorry, the EP. So I kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier. Safe Then Sorry got a lot of great buzz. It got a lot of great press. People were talking about it, and I'm sure you were very busy promoting it. I wanted to kind of come in and hear it maybe from a different perspective. Instead of you telling me about Safe Then Sorry, I wanted to have you tell me a little bit about the promo process, I guess, navigating what happens when you release music. So just tell me real big picture, what happened when you finished Safe Then Sorry? What was your goal with rolling it out, and did you even know what to do with it once you finished recording it?
No, I had no idea what to do with it. I had finished it and I was just going to put it out on Spotify like I do with everything else on the little DistroKid thing. And then someone asked me that, oh, you're going to put this out on a label? Are you going to connect with anybody? And I was like, no, it just wasn't something that I was up to. And I just didn't really I just wasn't thinking about that. So I ended up reaching out to Jamie at Audio Antihero. And we've talked in the past about a few things, about Frog, their kind of stuff. And I was like, hey, I have this thing. Would you be interested? Or tell me what to do with it, even if you hate it, what I'm supposed to do. And so then we ended up meeting, and they sent me this huge spreadsheet of all their past work and past connects. And I was like, the spreadsheet was so big, it just never stopped scrolling. And they were like, okay, we're just going to make a foundation, because I'd never done press before. And I had no idea how it even started, how it worked. And then I was like, let's do as much as we can. And they were like, are you sure? And I was like, for sure, I want to do everything. And then there was 400 emails, 500 different people. And I was like, okay, I'll do everything. And some things were so small. I think some things didn't end up happening, but I was way over my head in the emails.
And so writing. before that, you said you hadn't ever done any sort of press thing.
No, so I had no idea that it's actually a lot of work and very serious.
What were, I guess, some of the unexpected things that cropped up with it? Because I think, I don't want to speak for other people, but I have a feeling that when people think, oh, there's press about this album, it just seems very bare bones, or very clear, right? The publication found the album and they wrote about it, and that's it. But there's so many other styles of press that go on. So what were some were there any surprising things going through this for the first time?
I guess it was the most fun I had with it was when you would do little interviews, whether it was Zoom or somewhere in person or somewhere just chatting. And it was so cool to see people actually care and do some research and find out some stuff and ask questions that I wasn't expecting, because there was just effort and there was a lot of heart in those conversations. And I'm obviously very small, and it's my first time doing this ever. So just the fact that people listened and they were picking things out or relating them to other songs, stuff that I would do, was a big deal to me. And I was a little shocked, and that everyone was real.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I think I've had conversations with people where everyone who kind of does stuff related to the music industry at a very small DIY level, they're all doing it for the passion. So every experience is built upon respect. It's never just a transactional thing. It's very rarely a transactional thing until I guess you start achieving hella clout or whatever. I have no idea. But this might be a weird question here, but what was your least favorite part of the promo process? Was there anything that stuck out to you? Because for me, I release music as well, and I think my least favorite part is always the social media shit. Mm-hmm. So much so that I don't even participate in it, and I kind of feel bad for any press people I work with, because they do all this work and then I'm not even on social media to help them promote it. So
yeah, I think the social media part was the hardest, because I thought, oh, I'm just gonna post a reel every day and let everything climb and go, and it's gonna be so easy. But then it's that was really hard, and it's embarrassing to try to do something and then put it together on your phone, and it's really hard to edit reels or social media posts. I didn't expect it to be so difficult, but every time I posted something, I was reading it 3 times, and by the time I read it, I was this is gross. I can't say this. And it was really something simple that I needed to say, and it was 4 words and a tag.
It's funny to me that you say the word gross there, because that's kind of how I feel about a lot of it too. Even doing this podcast in some ways, I'm Jesus, I have not done the video part of podcasts for the whole time I've done them, because it's a little bit like self-aggrandizing, and you're just like, dude, I don't give a fuck if you watch it or not. Like, I don't care. Then that's part of why, like, I don't want to post it. But if you don't post the reels or the stories or whatever, then literally no one's gonna hear it, you know?
Yeah, and it is like, it kind of just feels like another job of just like planting these little seeds, and some of the seeds, most of them just like nothing happens, but then one thing will do really well and you have no idea why, and it's so random. And it's like a sick little game.
Yeah, I mean, I purposely try not to look at any of the metrics or anything. For me, it's like, make the music, put it out, don't worry about it, whatever, who cares? Say we're this show, make the show, put it out, who cares, whatever, you know, we're doing it for fun, and that's
I'm on that train.
Be. Yeah. So one thing that I think you've done a decent amount of with this promo for the album is sessions. I was not aware just how popular like doing remote sessions was, and I don't know if that's a thing that happened since COVID or whatever, but whatever the case, that is very popular now. How did you feel about doing like remote sessions, or did you ever do any like remote live stuff, just session work to promote the EP in general? How did that feel?
It was really funny because obviously like every session like had to be different, but even though like they started to all sound the same, and like I was just doing acoustic for a lot of them, but then some people would be like, oh, sing whatever song that you want, like a cover, it could be the most random song, we don't care, just do it. And I was like, okay. But then it's like I would spend so much time like doing like little instrumentals behind the because it's remote, you can do whatever you want, it doesn't have to be live. So I would find myself going crazy on the little details of the live sessions, so they weren't really that live.
Yeah, I mean, so again, with my stuff, I'm about to do some of those. As of this record, I'm doing some next week. And yeah, my first question was actually like, can I just play other people's music? Is it cool if I just do covers? Because like, I don't, for me personally, terrible habit, but I don't really remember how to play any of my songs because I don't play out. So like, I just write them, record them, and then they're gone. So it's like, I'm not gonna play my songs, I'm gonna play other people's songs. How was your like percentage of covers? Was it like 50-50 or more your songs?
I feel like it was probably like 70-30, because a lot of people did just like ask for me to do like a few of the songs, but it was a great excuse to like do covers of songs that I would never just like put out on my own, because I'd be like, what's the point of that? And so like I did this one of like Clementine by Elliott Smith, and I went crazy on it, like just insane. And I was like, this is so much fun. Now I have a reason to do this.
Yeah, I think I saw that one on your YouTube channel. I think it's up there, or at least maybe the audio from it is up there, because those sessions are audio only, right? They're not like video, because they're obviously not live.
They're just audio. I did one for a radio station here in New York. That was a big deal to me, and that was scary, but it was really fun. Why
was it a big deal, and to you specifically, and why was it scary? I'm assuming it's scary because it was live, right?
Yes, but it was at WFUV. They do a lot of live sessions, like kind of like it's the same idea as like the KEXP, like really big YouTube videos. And I got there and there were like 5 cameras and like 5 camera operators like all around, and like the fancy lights are up, and there's just so much going on, and then you have to just like play the song, but there's so many people, but it's just cameras all angles of you, and there's people moving around getting like the back of you, and I was like, this is crazy, because I'm not used to that.
Yeah, and that was live, or they recorded that session to put like if you messed up, because you'd be like, guys, hold on, let's stop down and take it again, or...
Yeah, they were like, you can do it as many times as you want, but I felt so bad because there's like 12 people in here, and I don't want to make them wait. So I think I did a good job of getting it, and I got like both takes pretty quickly.
Do you think you would have been more comfortable, because I'm assuming you were there just by yourself with you and a guitar.
Yeah.
Do you think you would have been more comfortable if you had like the band with you
100%.
Or a band with you? Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, as soon as I finished, I was like, I should have brought the full band. And then the host was like, it's so funny you didn't bring the whole band. I'm like, I wasn't expecting it to be this serious.
Yeah, you were like, I thought I was going to walk in with my guitar, play it for you basically, and like maybe one camera, and here I am in a Hollywood production, you know?
Yeah, because they have all their videos and they're like big artists. It's like, there's just so many. Counting Crows was there like a few weeks ago, and it's like the same exact setup. I'm like, I didn't think you guys were doing that for me, and it just, next time. full band.
Next time. I mean, and there's gonna have to be next time because this was the EP, so you gotta follow
so there's
up
gonna
even
have to be a
bigger.
next time.
I have a kind of a semi-related question. So, like, obviously with these bigger, outlets, they have a bit more reach, and maybe their stuff, I'll say in quotes, performs better because, like, who knows how you judge performance, I guess. But, like, I guess my question is, how much attention do you pay to the metrics that your work gets? Whether it's a session, whether it's a social media post, whether it's just, like, plays or listeners on Spotify. Do you look at that stuff, and do you let it affect you when you see it?
That's a good question. In the first few weeks of the being released on Spotify, it is so much fun to watch that little counter go up every day and like see where it's going, and like some things like lead to other things. So a lot of plays on this lead to radio random plays and then whatever like that, and it's like kind of just like a slot machine every day. You're just like going back and then hoping you get money. I mean streams, because there's not really that much money, and that's really fun. I definitely let that affect me for a little bit because I was like, I want to make it go up more. Like, I'm gonna keep doing things, and you just have no idea which of the things you're doing is leading to anything, so you just end up doing a lot of unnecessary work and hope it works out. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like a lot of that is so random.
Do you still pay attention to it? Like, or because you said it was really fun in the first few days or weeks or however when you see the number go up, but then as the number starts to taper off, do you get like a anxiety or anything where you're like, okay, time to make more, I gotta make more stuff? Or
I definitely have to make more stuff.
Do you learn to like not watch the number?
Yeah, you definitely learn not to watch the number because it does get boring, because like all songs just kind of like fade a little bit over time, unless there's like a random spike, which we all hope for secretly. But yeah, I think it's like very motivating to like be in that cycle again. But you just like want to make sure it's like good, something that you like, not just to keep playing this Spotify game. It's like, I should make the music because I like to make it.
That is a great segue into what is my final question about this. It's a bigger question, so I understand if the answer will have some sort of, it won't be purely black and white. How do you personally judge success in music or your art that you're creating, whatever it is that you do? What determines whether it's successful or not?
I think if I still like it after it's out there, but I feel like most of the time the success that I feel is that I'm still doing it. Like, I'm still working on something, like I still have something that I can finish. I'm still super into it. I feel like the times I feel least successful, I think even if I had like a crazy great song out that was doing so well, I would still not feel good if I didn't still feel like I had it, like I still had something in me.
Yeah, like if you still had something that you didn't put into that tune, you mean?
Yeah, that, and like if I were to finish something and then not do something again, or like not be able to write for like a few weeks or something, like I'd feel unsuccessful because it's like I got to do it again.
Do you listen to your own stuff?
Not that often.
No,
I just listen to make sure it's still there.
Right, and that it like exported fine and that everything went up or whatever.
Yeah, like listening to it too much is weird to hear my own voice. And I'll never get over that, probably. As someone who's doing the podcast and has a radio show, I cannot lie. You have to like your voice, I guess. But I think like listening to your own music is cool. I don't know. That's such a hot take, but I think it's cool. Like you're making it to listen to, is my opinion. Like, I don't know. I do like to do that.
I get the voice part of it because like I think I am more likely to go back and listen to my instrumentals than I am like my tracks, because those are fun.
I feel that too. Like I like to listen to the beginning of the song when it's just instrumental, and then when it comes on I'm like, okay, I have to be in the mood for it. It's like any type of music that's a little different. Do
you have any plans to ever make an instrumental album or an instrumental EP or anything? Or you're straight up just words forever?
I feel like it's gotta be words forever for a little bit, but if I had the extra time, The only reason I don't do instrumentals because I should probably focus on making the words music, and since I haven't done that, I can't make the instrumental album. So maybe after that.
I think you're better off making the words music because like your voice is you, and if you take it away, people are gonna start accusing you of being AI or something. They'll be like, "This is AI.
Yeah.
This isn't real music." I think
it's a slippery slope. I think if I started doing instrumental stuff, it would slowly turn into DJ, and then it would slowly turn into like party DJ, and then I would just be doing that, which could be terrible, which would be an awful thing.
Is that the next project? Is that what we're expecting?
I just feel like if I were to do the DJ thing, it would be so funny, and I would love it, and it wouldn't be like musical at all. It would just be me having fun.
I think you should do it. I think you should do it and like give it a different alias and just like completely just ghost release it. You know what I mean?
I have a feeling that would go so well, just because I wouldn't really be. I feel like I'd be in Miami every weekend or something. It would go crazy. Expensive
lifestyle. It does not match up with the mixtape you put together. That mixtape you put together is not an expensive lifestyle style.
No, it's
mixtape
not.
Or whatever. Okay, I'm teasing that, but let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back from the break, we will get into your mixtape.
Let's do it.
All right, we are back. We have Malia's mixtape here, and this one is awesome. I'm pumped to hear why you picked these songs. Before we really get into it, is there any theme or through line in this mixtape in general? Did you have any sort of thing going on when you picked it, or was it just like, oh, I like this song?
Yeah, it was kind of random. It was kind of like the songs that I was listening to that week that I had played a lot that were in my head. I didn't think too much about it because I didn't want to lock myself into anything. So it is a little random, but
I mean, I think there are a lot of commonalities between these songs. I think they flow really, really nicely. The reason I ask about the theme thing is I'm like learning as we go with this show. There was a guest we had on where I didn't ask about the theme, and he was like, let me tell you about the theme, my friend MK, and he had like a thesis for every song, and I was like, all right, note to self, ask about the theme. Let's kick it off. The first song you have on here is Bittersweet Symphony by The Verve. So everyone has heard the song, I think. Maybe I'm just showing my age here, but it is a classic 90s song. I think it's a 90s song. Tell me a bit about maybe first time you heard the song, or what made you pick it? Like, what made you put it first on this mixtape?
Yeah, I think the first time I heard this song, I was probably a kid. And I was probably in my dad's convertible PT Cruiser, and it was probably in the summer. And I know like the string section of this song is a sample. It's like from another song of another song of another song. I don't even know the origination, but it hits so hard every time. The intro like builds up to it, and then the drums hit. It's a crazy song. I like to listen to it on the way to work, if I'm feeling it, and I put it first because I probably went to work that day and it was probably in my head. And my favorite line of the song is, you're a slave to money, then you die. And I thought that's brilliant.
So what a way to start every work day.
I mean, it's a good song. The lyrics are good too. It's not just like some flashy poppy song. It's true.
It's a brilliant song. I love it. It's incredible. So when you're going to work and you're listening to this, you commute to work on a train or on a bus, right? You're not driving a car.
Yeah, I'm on the train every day.
Right. So you're getting like, because if you're listening to music in a car while you're commuting to work, the vibe is so different than if you're like packed into a train and you're hearing, you know what I mean? Like your environment fits. It turns the whole song like into it's like you're living through a music video. That's what it feels like.
It is like a music video. Like I can see myself listening to the song, pulling up to the stop, trying to make ends meet. You're a slave to money, then you die, and then getting off and then going in. That's how it is.
And going and getting the money.
It's so true though. It's the truth, and like they're not afraid to say it. And it's happy music going on because it's just any day.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song. Let's hear a little bit of it. Here is Bittersweet Symphony by The Verve. Sweet symphony that's live, trying to make ends meet. Next up, you have a song by Bruce Springsteen called Atlantic City. So there's another version of this song, right? I think the band do a version of it. I didn't do the research. I should have. Yeah. I don't know whose song this actually is.
This is actually Bruce Springsteen's song.
Okay.
And the band actually, I think the band does a cover of it, which I think is one of the rare examples of when another band does a cover that's better than the original. Because the band does take this to a new level. But I had to give this version on the playlist to Bruce because he is the original owner.
Yeah, and then you just said you liked the band's version more. You were just trying to give Bruce his flowers almost. Okay, so this is we talked a bit before the show about my Nashville trip. This is where I just got back from Nashville, and I will give you a little, tidbit about that trip right here. So in my car, I have the Sirius XM radio, and they have a Bruce Springsteen station, I think, and they have another...
like E Street, yeah.
Yeah, E Street, and they have another station that is Bruce Springsteen's, one of his bandmates has a station as well, and there's just so much Springsteen I guess fandom going on all the time, and I've never really got it. I don't really get Bruce Springsteen. Someone in Nashville told me I need to listen to an album called Nebraska, and they were like, listen to Nebraska, and I was like, all right, I'll try. And actually that's what this is off of, I guess. But tell me what I'm missing about Bruce Springsteen.
So I can see why you might not get it. Because I was kind of raised around it. Not my dad, but my uncle. So we weren't as close, but he's obsessed with Bruce Springsteen, to the core. And I think it might be an East Coast thing because it's such a miserable, youthful lifestyle sometimes in the East Coast. And there's a lot of complaining and there's a lot of mystery and daydreaming that goes on, and there's a lot of angst, and I think Bruce is that person, especially to people a little bit older. He was the only one who might have understood them, so I think it goes way back. But the Nebraska album is what everyone loves so much. It's because it's very raw Bruce Springsteen songwriting, but also it's the 8-track player, him just kind of messing around, and that is the album. So it's it's kind of unique for the time. But it is just miserable music. Yeah,
it's Northeast coded, I guess. I grew up in the Southeast, so
different.
I think you may be onto something with the geography thing. Well, let's listen to a little bit of it. It is Atlantic City by Bruce Springsteen.
Put your makeup on, fix your hair pretty, and meet me tonight in Atlantic City.
Next up, this is a song that you introduced me to back when you were on my Word Cloud radio show. It's a song called Fancy by Bobbie Gentry. This song is a banger. So tell me a bit about Fancy by Bobbie Gentry.
So Fancy, this is a beautiful song. I think it's one of the best written songs I've ever heard. Bobbie Gentry wrote so many songs back in the day. She was kind of a pop artist, but she kind of disappeared. No one really knows what happened to her, but without her, no one, Reba never would have existed. Even Casey Musgraves, they all use a lot of her parts of her old songs. But this one especially gets to me because it's just about this girl. It's kind of like Pretty Woman before Pretty Woman moment. And she's just telling the truth about what she had to do to get out of her little shack with her mom and the roach crawling across her shoe. It's so detailed. It's so gross, but it ends really well for her. So her.
No spoilers. We don't want to give it away, But
yeah, I don't want to tell you what happens, but and the line "Fancy Don't Let Me Down" is so good.
I think it's cool that you are thinking about these songs from the writing perspective. It seems like you really value storytelling in a song.
Mm-hmm. You can tell what's real.
Yeah, I'm a melody person, but I'm starting to come around over the last couple of years to the songwriting element of it,
Which, I think it's hard to get both. It's really hard.
It's tough, and that's why when something hits, it hits, much like Fancy. Let's listen to a little bit of it. Here's Fancy by Bobbie Gentry.
Fancy, don't let me down. Here's your one chance, Fancy, don't let me down.
Next up, this was my biggest surprise of the whole mixtape. I love doing this because it introduces me to so much stuff that I've never heard. This song I'd never heard. I knew Reba McEntire because, you know, how can you not recognize her? She's just got a famous look about her. I think she had a TV show at one point.
She's had it all.
Yeah, this song that you picked by her is called The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia. And I loved that tune. It was so good. I looked it up. It's a cover, but like she absolutely crushes it. And it's like this, like it's like a horror story almost. It's like this weird song.
It's like Southern Gothic hit, but I love this song. Obviously it's so catchy. There's like these really great little sneaky guitar parts that are so good, but the song itself, like I have talked to so many people. I was texting my friend the other day about it, and we were fighting over like who did what, because there's a million people in this song and it doesn't make any sense. Like we've taken it down like on a notebook, like this person did this, like the storyline does not add up. It makes no sense, but like someone dies and there's no motive and it doesn't even matter, and it's like tested time. It's just such a good hit.
They should make like what was that like podcast that NPR did where like it was one of the first like murder podcasts where the guy was, you know, he was unfairly accused or whatever. They should do that. Serial.
They need a serial podcast for this, and it could be like a whole tin hat, like little thread against a cork board. Like it could be that. It's that good. I look it up all the time. I still can't figure it out.
I mean, we'll have to give it a listen and see. You know what? If you listen to it, if you get all the way through the song, email us hi@tapeclub.biz or leave a comment in the YouTube video. Tell us who did it, you know, and what happened the night the lights went out in Georgia. Let's listen to a little bit of it. Here it is. The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia by Reba McEntire.
That's the night that the lights went out in Georgia. That's the night that they hung an innocent man. But don't trust your soul to know backwards.
The next tune is a tune by Greg Mendez, and it's called Maria. Growing up, had a cat named Maria. R.I.P. Maria, one of the greatest cats ever. But this song is not about the cat. Tell me a bit about how you first discovered Greg Mendez and what this song Maria means to you.
So this song came up on, it was just like a new release from a small artist, and I was like, okay, click. And it got stuck in my head because of the melody is like very much like going with the rhythm, all of that. The lyrics are like kind of catchy. It's like a sad little song. It's like, it's very saturated. It's very tapey. It's exactly what I like. And it's only like 2 minutes long. And I sometimes will just put it on a loop and just let it go for 40 minutes. And I like it just the same.
It's what I noticed when I listened to it was that it's basically like the little melody that he sticks to, that progression, whatever, is so good that it's just like, yeah, the song might be 2 minutes, but it's 2 minutes of just that thing looped. It's like when you hit a melody or a progression just right, you can just ride it for however long you want because it's very good. And this is one of those cases, I think.
It's so good. I met him and I was like, how did you put the drums in there? Did you do that after? Because the melody obviously is so strong and the drums come in, but they also work. I'm like, how did you do that? And they're like, okay, we did that after the fact, like in a small room, and that's why it sounds like that. I'm like, awesome.
Yeah, the drums sound sick. I mean, that's a very cool sounding song, and that is a very cool sounding album as well. I remember when it came out, it made waves. I think it was on Forged Artifacts, I think was the label. I could be wrong, but I think it was Forged Artifacts. Yeah,
because then it was Dead Oceans after that, after this album, which was really cool, and they're so good. I got to play with them in a different band last year, and I cried during their set, and I don't do that for anyone.
Let's listen to it. Here's a little bit of Maria by Greg Mendez.
Every time you say you wanna know me, I get anxious, 'cause I would probably tell you about some dumb shit.
So we've got 3 songs left on this playlist. We're making headway. We're getting through it, and it seems to me right now like the theme maybe is just good ass songwriting. Maybe that's what the theme is. Here, the next one is probably, you could say it's one of the best songs ever written. I mean, it is quite a banger. It is called Hello, It's Me, and it's by Todd Rundgren. Do you remember the first time you ever heard this tune?
I don't remember the first time I ever heard this tune, but I did get the vinyl version of the record, and it was amazing. I played it, and the cool thing about, I don't know if it's on every single print of this record, but there's like 7 seconds before where he's leading up into the song, and they like hit it's so good. I play it, sometimes I just play that as loud as I can and just keep going back to it because the count in is so good on this song.
Have you ever have you ever thought about like leaving a part in like that on a song, where you like leave in a false count in or something like that, or a little bloop or a bloop, something that happens that you're like, oh, actually this mistake, quote unquote, might, plus the song up a little bit?
If it was as good as this one is, and it like really added to the song and made it hit so much harder, which is crazy because I love the song before the little count in, then maybe. But this is like hard to compete with.
I mean, I remember the first time I heard this one, and like, man, I could be wrong. I could be mistaken. I'll still tell you, but like, it might be wrong. Erykah Badu put out a mixtape back whenever called like You Can't Use My Phone or something like that, and every song kind of had to do with cell phones and like phones. And I think she did, it was her and Andre 3000, they like did an interpolation or a version of this, and I didn't realize that it was not Erykah Badu's song. Like, how embarrassing is this? That like I didn't hear this song until like fucking like 2015 or something. But like I thought it was Erykah Badu's song, and then I like looked it up and I was like, oh, this is Todd Rundgren, and this is from like a long time ago.
It's an insane song. I think it is one of the best. It's like so well recorded. The key change, like a great space for a key change.
I recommend checking out the Erykah Badu version. It is also very good. Okay, but let's listen to it. Here's a little bit of Hello, It's Me by Todd Rundgren.
Hello, it's me. I've thought about us for a long, long time.
Next up, we have Joker Lips by MJ Lenderman. So MJ Lenderman obviously had, I think last year was like the big like MJ Lenderman coming out party where everyone was like, oh my god, like he's amazing. And this song was, I think this is off of the album Manning Fireworks. I don't know if that is like the most recent one. I probably should have researched that.
But
MJ Lenderman, yeah, tell me a bit about why you picked Joker Lips and what your general feelings are on his music.
Joker Lips is an interesting song because it's kind of gross, and he kind of goes and says whatever he wants about cleaning cum from hotel showers. Gross. And it's kind of like, okay, he had like a few really big songs that really took off, but it's like, is this just him fooling around now? Is he just like joking with us? Is he just like fooling around with it? But then as the song goes on, he says something to the extent of, I love watching TV, but what I really want is for you to want me. So it's like, it gets that yearning back, and you're like, okay, he's being honest, he's being real again, so we can let this slide. It's like he says all this stuff, but what he really means is this really heartfelt thing.
I think with MJ Lenderman, what he really reminds me of, and I'm just talking about the timbre and the tonality of his voice, it reminds me of Jason Molina and like Magnolia Electrico type thing. I have it, to me it just feels like for the last like year everybody has been trying to do their best like Magnolia Electrico impression, and that alt country thing is just like everyone's got their version of it that they do. I think MJ Lenderman was like in my opinion, the peak of this like lo-fi alt country weird thing. But I mean, I respect him a ton as an artist.
I agree. I think his thing was a little silly too. Like there's a lot of humor in his songs that don't really exist in like the Jason Molina songs as much.
it's cool stuff, and I guess anytime you throw like any sort of like slide guitar thing on there, I don't know. I honestly haven't listened to Manning Fireworks in its entirety. You know, I've heard like the singles and a handful of songs, and I'm like, it's cool. I get it.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to listen to the whole thing, but I'm sure it's an incredible album.
Yeah, you don't have to listen to the whole thing.
Let's listen to a little bit of it. Joker Lips by MJ Lenderman.
Please don't laugh, only half of what I said was a joke. Every Catholic knows he could.
And so you're closing it out with Kenny Rogers, The Gambler. R.I.P. Kenny Rogers, but The Gambler, great tune. What made you pick it? What made you put it as the closing track?
I've recently learned how to play poker, and it's like, okay, I really liked it, so I had to like find out more about poker, and all I really knew was this song. And so after listening to it, after learning just too much about poker, I'm like, a lot of the stuff isn't that true, but this is a good song nonetheless.
You gotta know when to hold them, and you gotta know when to fold them. Those
you do it.
Two things are true.
Yeah, and I think like he doesn't mention this, but like you need to fold a lot more than you think.
Always be folding. Always be folding.
Yeah.
That's my approach, whatever, but I'm not like the greatest poker player. Kenny Rogers, I think it wasn't, it was Ruby. You know that song Ruby? Oh, I got a song for you. I'll send you this one. You like Fancy? You're going to like Ruby. Ruby
Send
is
me.
a heartbreaking song. It is so good. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I'll send.
That's
We'll
what I
talk
love.
after this. You're gonna
love
love it. Yeah. I listened to that tune when he passed, and I basically like ripped off the progression for a song of mine. I was like, damn, the song is so good. The progression like just keeps on giving. I gotta give it new life or whatever.
You had to do it.
Yeah. Let's listen to a little bit of it. Here's The Gambler by Kenny Rogers.
You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money.
Okay, so that was it. That is your mixtape. We got some cool stuff on there, and it seemed like the theme, after looking at it, is songwriting, right? The songwriting is strong from start to finish on this one.
That's true.
So I teased the Nashville thing. I teased it way up front, and we haven't even really talked about it. So real quick, before we get to the break, have you been to Nashville?
I have not been, but I have heard a lot.
Okay, what have you heard?
I've heard it's a lot of covers. It's a lot of bachelorette party. It's a lot of wagon wheel or pay to hear wagon wheel because people don't want to play wagon wheel anymore.
We drove out there from Richmond, so it was a long drive. But when we were out there, we had a car, and here's my one thing I'll say about Nashville. I did not expect it to be as big as it is. That city is gigantic. It is like, you need a car. There's maybe if you're staying in like very specific parts of it, you don't need a car. Obviously downtown and all that that's very Times Square-y down there. It's like, all right, well, I wouldn't want to stay there anyways. But like, man, that city is big. That it feels like Los Angeles, straight up. I was like, this is the Los Angeles of the South.
I mean, you hear so many people going there to do music things. I can imagine it's very spread out. It's not all on that one street.
No, it's not at all. And I will say, we were only there for 2 nights, and even in those 2 nights, I heard a lot of music, and there was a ton of live music going on, and it seems like it is everywhere, but little too spread out for me. I think I like a more compact, urban density.
Yeah, I like to walk. If I can't walk there, it bothers me.
It's tough. I think you should go. And like check it out, especially looking at all these things you picked, all these songs. I think you'll probably enjoy Nashville, but I think maybe you'll be like, bruh, why do I have to call an Uber every single place that I'm trying to go?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would know a lot of the songs because I really do like country music. So I feel like I could maybe fit in on one of the bachelor trips or something.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Go for it. Just sneak on in. You know, join the Bachelorette crew or whatever. All right, let's take one quick break. When we come back, we're gonna play a quick game, and then we'll get the hell out of here. Okay, we're back with everyone's favorite segment, the game segment. Malia, I know you were like, I want to do the game segment. I
love games.
Yeah, so we're playing a game called Firsts and Lasts. The way this works is you're gonna tell me about the first thing you did and then the last time you did it. So for example, the first one, let's start with the first show you played and then the last show you played. So tell me a bit about the first show you ever played and then the most recent show you've played.
The first show that I ever played was on my college campus. I had 2 other girls that we did this like little group to like do this contest at school, and we were like not ready and prepared for it. And I actually went to go sing and I like coughed. That was my first performance ever. And then
nowhere to go but up.
I just like opened my mouth and I just started coughing, and it was like at the end there was like obviously judges. There was so much pressure. I said, why did I do that? And he says, I don't know. And then we didn't come back for the next one, which was great.
Did y'all were just singing, or was there instruments involved?
I was like playing guitar, so like I knew when I was coming in, and I just was like, okay, now's a good time to cough. So yeah, that was great. And it's great to have your first performance be judged. So I wouldn't do that again. And then my last performance. Yeah. Sorry
to cut you off. I think that what you should do as a little tribute to that on the maybe something you record in the future, start it by coughing, leave that in there as a Todd Rundgren shout out, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm just saying, could be cool.
It could be something.
All right, and then tell me a bit about the last show you played, the most recent one.
The last show I played was the first show that I played the songs on the EP, so it was my first time ever playing them live with a full band. So that was interesting because we'd only rehearsed a few times, but like everyone knew the songs, and the place was really small, just like the stage setup, and it went really well. Like I think I sang the songs, I remembered how to play everything. So yeah, I'd say there's been some great improvement.
From coughing. No coughing.
Yeah, from opening my mouth and coughing into the microphone.
All right, next question. So this one is about instruments. The first instrument you ever, I wrote acquired because, you know, some are given as gifts, whatever, but the first instrument you ever got and the most recent instrument you've acquired.
The first instrument that I got that I can remember that was like important was the DGX 640 Yamaha keyboard that my aunt got me for my birthday, and I came home from school and it was in my room all set up, and I just freaked out. It was the coolest thing ever. I'd been looking at this piano every time we went to Guitar Center or the grocery store because they were next to each other, and I was obsessed with it. And it was like $600, which was like a ton of money to me as a kid, so I couldn't get it myself. So my aunt found out that I wanted it and got it for me, and I will never forget that day. My most recent purchase was I was in like Knoxville, Tennessee, but I went to Dolly Parton's hometown of Cedarville, and I went to a guitar store just to look around, and I ended up buying a classical Gibson guitar 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
So that was a find. I wasn't expecting to buy a guitar and bring it on the tiny plane, but I did.
Amazing. What brought you to Knoxville?
I wanted to go to Dollywood.
Nice. Okay, yeah. So it was like you went to Knoxville specifically to go to Dollywood and that whole area. Pigeon Forge is out there, Gatlinburg, all that stuff in the Smokies.
And the Salt and Pepper Museum, the Salt and Pepper Shaker Museum, the largest collection in the world. I also went to that. So there's a lot of funny little things down there. I had a blast.
On our trip back from Nashville, we stopped by Knoxville on the way there and on the way back to get food. And that was my shining gem from the Tennessee trip, was Knoxville. I came out of there being like, Knoxville is incredible. Like, there's cool shit here. So next time you fly into Knoxville, maybe stay a night, check out some of the cool stuff that Knoxville has to offer.
Yeah, they have heart down there.
I have a question about when you got your first instrument. How old are you? You said you were in school. Were you like elementary school age?
I must have been in middle school.
That is such a cool gift to get. Like, to get an instrument. It's just the greatest gift. because
it was a huge deal. It's also like somebody cares enough to like spend this amount of money on you and believes in you that you're gonna use it and not like ruin it.
Yeah, and it's like probably it was probably like super formative in like you playing music and learning music. So
it was so important.
Next up, first artist you saw in concert and last artist you saw in concert.
The first artist that I saw in concert that I can remember right now is I saw Miley Cyrus live. I think this was like Hannah Montana era.
Oh, this was Hannah Montana
like this
era.
was a long time ago.
Okay, so you said Miley Cyrus. You should have said Hannah Montana.
I should have said that. I should have said her real name, who was really there. But I remember that being kind of crazy. I'm sure I went to a concert before that. I just remember this was like a huge deal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it was. There was she was the probably like the one of the biggest pop stars. Would you say she's still like one of the biggest pop stars? I feel like she hasn't really released stuff in a while. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what she's
like
up
her.
to.
I have a Miley Cyrus t-shirt, you know. I think she's awesome.
I do like her. I think she really has. She has a good voice, and she definitely cares about the music, and you can tell that.
I saw something that, like, I guess she had a movie playing somewhere at some film festival, and like fans showed up. They got tickets for this movie, and then they were like mad that she wasn't singing, and she was like, "Guys, this is a movie screening." Like,
I know. I don't know how she handled it so well, because she did end up singing. She was like, "Okay, well, you guys have to start," and she sang like "The Climb" from the Hannah Montana movie, which is insane. But she was like happy to do it. I mean, good for her. She knew what they wanted. It was inappropriate, but
yeah, if I was in her position, I would have been like, no, I'm not doing this. Everyone go away. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, like if I was in a bad mood and I already didn't want to be there, it would have been ugly.
And then who is the last artist that you saw in concert? This one's kind of tough because, like, I don't think we should count, you know, a show you've played at or anything. It should be a show that you went to just to go to it.
I feel like I have gone to a lot of shows recently. But the one I remember is Dead & Co. at the Sphere.
Whew. Nice.
Yeah.
I think that's sick. I feel like
that was so important to me.
Yeah. When that was that in like this year back in like March? Is that when they were there?
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about that experience. I mean, first of all, like legendary act and really crazy new venue.
Yeah, it's an insane venue. Ever since it was built, I was like, oh my God, like I felt like a moth to that thing. It's so stupid, so dumb, and it's so unnecessary. I also had never been to Las Vegas, which I didn't even think was going to be part of the excitement, but it was. I loved it, of course. And being in that sphere, it was like hard to do anything after being in that sphere because it's just so overstimulating. I was exhausted after being I didn't take, obviously I didn't like do anything. I didn't take any drugs or anything like that, but I was like, it was also expensive. I was like, I don't want to miss a second of this. And so, yeah, life hasn't been the same since I went to the Sphere. That's
like the funniest phrase I've ever heard in my life.
It's a crazy place.
It's pretty cool. I went there. I saw like some stupid little, it's not stupid, but it's some little movie they made specifically for the Sphere where it was just like showing off
Postcards from Earth. Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah, I saw that, and like we were lucky enough to have like pretty decent seats like right in the middle, but I could imagine how like sitting on the sides it would be warped and weird. But for live music, especially for like Dead & Co., it was probably so sick. So very good, very cool artist grouping, you know. Miley Cyrus and Dead & Co. That speaks my language.
Yeah.
We have a couple more left. So this one is artist you were a super fan of. Your first artist who you remember just being a super fan of, and then the last artist who really hit you where you're like, oh my God, I want to hear their whole discography.
The first time it happened to me, it was John Mayer when I was a kid. I was obsessed with him. I loved guitar. I felt like I could like hear his guitar solos in my stomach. I was like, this is crazy. Like he was so good. And obviously I love him in Dead & Co. too. I love when he plays guitar. When he talks, it's a little much. But I was so obsessed with him. I knew every single song. I was like downloading things from YouTube onto my iPod with ads on them. Like, it was so serious. I was getting like unreleased things. I could like hear the first second of the song and know what it was. Like, we would play this game in the car called the John Mayer game. And I used to be so good at it. So I was obsessed with him. And then recently a similar obsession was with the band Frog. And
yes, Frog.
That was like the same type of thing.
I think, yeah, when you were on the Word Cloud show, when we talked, you brought up Frog. I think you picked a Frog song. Frog, obviously, a little smaller than John Mayer, so maybe tell the viewers about a little bit more about Frog.
Frog is like a very interesting DIY project. I wouldn't say it's totally alt country, but it definitely leans on that, but also the tapey qualities of like the DIY music. It is a little bit insane lyrically. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but if you get it, you just understand. He talks a lot about places from New York that kind of stitched together. Talks a lot of just about like drinking and yearning and being upset and being mad about stuff, and I love it.
I think you gravitate really strongly, it feels like to me, towards like realism. There was like this art movement in like I think it was in England in the mid 20th century called kitchen sink realism, and I just love that term because it really speaks for itself. It's like blue collar realism of like, this is just how life is. And it, just looking at like a lot of the songs you've mentioned through this conversation, it feels like you gravitate towards that. You're like, you want to see a realistic depiction of a normally banal thing, but it comes across and brings you, it brings like your whatever, a small scene a step higher. It elevates it. I don't know, I kind of mumbled my way through that, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. I
think that's a great way to put it. I love it, especially I think the real kitchen sink realism, like, it's funny in itself. And a lot of those things are funny, and sometimes like life is just whatever, but someone will say something funny and it makes it all worth it. Yeah.
And one thing I will say about John Mayer, I think, I don't know what like the Grateful Dead, community's opinion on him being the Dead & Co guy is. I think he's the perfect fit for it. Like, it's just like, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. I am still kicking myself because I could have gone to see them when they played at Citi Field, and I didn't go, and I really regret it because I was like, that probably would have been fun. But
yeah, it was fun. It was.
So last one I have here. This is about albums or CDs, cassettes, whatever you want to call them, but any of them count. The first one of those that you bought and the last one of those you bought. So, it could be, it's however you want to define it, really. Album, CD, cassette, it can be MP3, whatever you want it to be. The first one and the last one.
The first one, I think it was probably like the Britney Spears album with she's going through that door with all the beads on it. That was a big one that got played a lot. And then most recently...
Oh, that's a tough one, right?
That's a tough one.
I said the same thing when I looked at this. I was like, I don't know how I would answer that because, like, it's honestly just listen to shit on Spotify and it's bad and I shouldn't do that, but it's what I do.
I'm thinking of, I got the Men I Trust big vinyl package. I remember, like, bringing it home from somewhere, and it was recently. And the Men I Trust big album is very good because it has a lot of their instrumentals on it. And those are just good to pop on at any time. They're people pleasers.
Yeah, the instrumental parts of their stuff are incredible. I mean, that's an incredible band in their own right, The Britney Spears one is funny because that's like, when I was interpreting the question too, I was like, I wonder what I would say. Like, would I say the first one I got or the first one I bought with my own money? Did you buy that Britney Spears one with your own money? Did you like save up and go get the CD, or were you like, Mom, can I have the CD or whatever?
I probably didn't have money because I was like so little, so I hope I didn't have money because it's like, why would I have money to buy a CD? But my parents probably bought it for me. They were like very happy to give me music and stuff. Some of it they didn't like, but whatever.
Hey, you know what? Britney Spears, classic. So it all works out. First and last, what'd you think? Was it a little nerve wracking? Were you pretty comfortable through the whole thing?
I was very comfortable. It's like fun to think about things that are in my life and try to remember. It's like a little game in itself. It
is, exactly. Well, you know what? Whenever you have the next album out in the next season of this show, we'll get you on again, and we'll play 2 games, because you're the first guest who I've had who's like pumped on the games. Everyone else is like, sure, dude, yeah, we'll play a game.
No, games are so much fun. Seriously, if you ever want to play a game, I can play.
Hell yeah. Malia, tell the people where they can find you and what to expect, if anything at all, from Ciao Malz right now.
You can find me on all of the social media platforms. My name is Ciao Malz, all one word. And then you can look forward to a potential Ciao Malz album soon.
It's a great way to put it. That way we're not promising anything. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming soon. Listeners, viewers, thank you for watching or listening to this episode. If you want to support the Tape Club, you can go to tapeclub.substack.com. That's where you can join for free. You can listen to podcasts like this. You can read the newsletters. There's a lot of stuff to do. It's a fun place to be. And if you join for the subscription, you'll get 1 cassette at least mailed to you every quarter. So that'll be cool, if you like collecting cassettes. And most importantly, you'll get access to a private feed that's going to have the mixtapes in full. So Malia's full mixtape, you'll just be able to pop it on and listen to the whole thing front to back. Pretty cool. Malia, thank you so much for doing this, and I appreciate you hanging out.
Thank you so much for having me. I love this show, and I'll see you soon.
Yes. Peace.
See ya.
The J-Card podcast is a fully independent production. It is made possible by listeners and viewers just like you. So if you want to support us, tapeclub.substack.com is the place to go.